Now we look at the fourth competitive force. The fourth competitive force is the power of buyers. Buyers are the business's closest customers. Where buyers have high power, they can demand low prices or expensive product modifications. Buyer power is determined by the following factors. The first one is the number of buyers. Where the customers are few and they buy high quantities of a product or service, they will have a higher buyer power due to the high volume of their purchase and the fewer numbers of buyers to sell to. However, the higher the number of buyers, the less the power they will have. Secondly is the switching costs. When the switching costs from one supplier to another are low, the bargaining power of buyers will be higher. But when the switching costs between products and services are high, the buyer power will be less. Where the products are standardized, the switching costs tend to be less. Third is the buyer competition threat. When the buyer has the capacity to supply the products or services to themselves and are likely to make such an investment, their power tends to be higher. But if the buyer has no capacity to supply themselves with the product and services, their buyer power will be low. Fourthly is lower buyer profits. In cases where the buyer is unprofitable and has no option but to reduce the cost of a purchased product or service, the buyer power will be high. But where the buyer has the ability to purchase the product or service, the buyer power will be low. And this is, for instance, in companies that are not doing well, they simply cannot afford to pay, so their buyer power is higher. Now, the fifth one is the impact on quality. When the buyer's product or service quality is not impacted by the product purchased from the organization, this will increase their buying power, the buying power of the buyers. However, when the company's product or service is essential to the quality of the buyer's product and service, the bargaining power of the buyer will be low.